Hey guys, good morning. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab whatever it is that you drink in the morning, because this is another video for the Coffee Time series. And basically what we are going to be talking about and what I'm going to be describing to you is basically my background when it comes to witchcraft, paganism, Wicca, basically my spiritual growth and basically me finding out who I am, and not just what I am. But I know that in the very beginning, when I was starting to think about having this channel, I did do a video on my background, and it was a very amateur video. It was very, very long. You know, I typed out my history and I read it. Basically, I read what it is that I saw instead of doing it by memory. And even though it is your experience and when you type it out, if you read it back to someone, especially if you have speech problems like I do, yes, I may speak very, my words flow rather easily, but sometimes my mouth screws up even the simplest sentences. So if I'm reading from that and if I screw it up, then it kind of loses its meaning, and it's kind of like a monotone voice almost. I don't know, but I just didn't like the way that I had done it in that video. So I'm going to try my best to not be long-winded within this one. As I said, it's not going to be a rant. It's not going to be negative. This is just another phase, or not phase, but another stage in my life that I am going to be showing to you. And I do apologize, my coffee hasn't fully kicked in yet. My eyes are still probably a little bit red, if not puffy, because my body's tired. Had a tough time getting up this morning. So basically, in my last video, I mentioned that I had gone to my mother when I was 12 years old and told her that I want to be a witch. Now, yes, this is true. And yes, we did actually meet a real life witch when I was 12. She actually she worked down the street at the gas station that we normally go to. And she was only there for maybe 6 months, and then she like poofed and disappeared. But some of the stories that she had told us, my mother has always been supportive no matter what. When I had told her that I wanted to be a witch, all that she said was, she goes, do your homework. That was all that she ever said. She wasn't against it. She never said anything bad about it. All that she wanted me to do was to do my homework. Basically, the reason for that, and she has said it herself, I believe it was last year we got into a discussion about it, and I had thanked her for telling me in order to do my homework. But her reasons behind that was because she didn't want me in order to just jump into anything that I didn't know pretty much anything about. I mean, yes, you watch the movies, you may read some books, you read the fairy tales with the Wicked Witch, you know, you have Hocus Pocus, you have Practical Magic, you have the craft, but that doesn't actually fully express what being a witch basically is, or basically what you are to accomplish in order to achieve, because all it is primarily Hollywood effects. And in most cases, the witch is depicted as evil. Except for in one movie, it was titled The Good Witch. But moving on. So she didn't want me and her to jump into anything that I didn't know anything about it. Know about. And she basically wanted me and her to take my time, know what it was that I was getting myself into, and basically, in a way, pretty much ensure the fact that it was not just a phase. She wanted me and her to be able to take it seriously. And in the beginning, I didn't really take it seriously, but I didn't do anything that I didn't feel comfortable doing. You know, I didn't do rituals, I didn't do spells. I was 12 years old, and I was doing this on my own. So I wasn't going to do anything and possibly create something that I didn't know how to get rid of. So I had that mentality even back then. So believe it or not, I can be a very wise individual. I just don't always show it. Except for my writing. See, my coffee hasn't kicked in yet because my speech is just... Excuse me. I have yellow today. I'm trying not to make this video too long. I apologize if it is. But in the very beginning, I got my first book when I was 13 years old. It was Celtic Magic by DJ Conway. Very small book. It was about $7. And, you know, being 13, $7, yeah, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for information, but it was a starting point. And that was primarily, you know, what I was looking for. I look at Mom, they titled it New Age. And then eventually they added on Wicca, Paganism, whatever. We're in Walden Books when they were still around, before they became Borders, and before Borders actually closed down. And I asked Mom, can I get a book? She goes, yeah, sure. Just don't do anything out of the book without knowing what you're doing. So, we got us a book, and we went along our way, and within a few years' time, my collection blew up. I mean, I am dead serious. My library right now, even though it's primarily in books, inside storage, because I am living back at my parents' house, and I am sharing this bedroom with my brother. I'm not gonna get into it. Don't even ask about that. But I have over 75 books, and that's the books that I typically keep within my library. Whenever I have a bookcase, that's the number that I typically have on my bookcase. I don't count them in order to make sure that I have 75, but that's what I typically have. That's not even including the ones that I haven't even used yet, because they're for, like, basically raising children within paganism. So I have some other books that I don't even use, that I haven't even counted into that collection. And in the very beginning, also note that I was not a very nice person. I tried to abide by the rule, you know, ain't harm none, do what you will. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair because I feel a loose one. You know, I try not to shove my beliefs down other people's throats, but at the same time, that's exactly what I was doing. Because I was the only one that I knew who thought the way that I did, who believed the way that I did, and I felt alone. And I was trying to have a friend or some sort of individual of the like mind, and I went about it the completely wrong way. And I titled myself a Bible beater without a Bible, because of the fact that we pagans do not have a Bible. You know, we don't carry a Bible around and trying to shove our opinions or beliefs down other people's throats. But in a way, I was kind of like them when I was that age. And it got to a point to where I am still ashamed of it to this day. But it was a very rude awakening for me. One of my dear cousins, she is Christian. She has been Christian pretty much her whole entire life. In the very beginning, when I was interested in Wicca and witchcraft, she was interested in it as well. And then she got more into Christianity. And she used to sit there and tell me that, you know, I was evil, I was worshiping the devil, and I was going to hell. And it made me extremely upset, because this cousin of mine is one of my favorites. You know, she is very, very dear to me. So, me and her, we ended up getting into a spiritual argument in the middle of our mall. And it was bad. I don't even know if we had people staring at us, but I was primarily, you know, yelling at her and everything, because I was so sick and tired of being told that I was going to hell. And I was trying to get my opinions across, then she wasn't listening, and so I ended up blowing up, doing my blow up phase that I do when I get fed up and frustrated. And it was just bad, and it still embarrasses me on, you know, how that happened and how everything turned out. But after that, it was almost like Goddess took me by the hand and yanked me off the path. It was kind of like, here, sit here, think about what you did, think about what you've been doing, and when you're ready, come back to me and talk about it. It's kind of like a mother punishing a child. And for 2 years, I stayed off the path of paganism and Wicca and witchcraft. And during that time, my beliefs and my spirituality kind of interlaced to a more comfortable, how do I say this? Basically, it was a lot more comfortable, and I didn't feel as alone. You know, I felt very unique instead of being the loner. You know, it's like, I'm different, I'm unique, and if no one else wants to join me, then that's, in a sense, not meaning it in a negative way, but it's basically their loss. And so, I became a better person throughout that time. And even during that time, I also had another dear friend of mine. I used to talk to him all the time. We used to do stupid little antics, like we were at one of my friend's birthday parties, and he sat there and he sang "Beat It" to me by Michael Jackson. It's like, okay. So we do all these stupid, crazy little things, but he is very, very Christian, and there was a time to where, you know, he was trying to get me in order to follow Jesus and, you know, all that fun shit. And, you know, I'm open-minded when it comes to Christianity, but when you try and convert me, I can be a royal stubborn bitch. I'm dead ass. Like, I'm very, very serious when it comes to my path, and I don't want to be converted. My thought is that if I am to convert, I will do it on my time and when I feel it is right. not because of peer pressure or because someone else is trying to pressure me into leaving paganism, nor to go to a path that I don't feel comfortable in. So, over time, I think it was about, throughout my teenage years, I have tried time and time again to get into Dragon Magick and Draconic Wicca, because I have always had a connection with dragons. When I was 14, I had my first dragon come to me. No, excuse me, I was 13 when I had my first dragon come to me, and he's actually still with me to this day. He is my guardian. He came to me out of a place of basically traumatic depression, and he comforted me, and he's been with me ever since. So, out of respect and out of love for these creatures and my connection with them, I've tried time and time again to get into Dragon Magick, Draconic Wicca, whatever it is that you wish to title it. I title it Path of the Dragon. But at that time, I didn't take it serious enough. I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't experienced enough. In a sense, I wasn't wise enough. Basically, I was very inexperienced throughout pretty much every aspect of my life. So it kept on faltering. I kept on wandering off. And so when I was 19, I finally did my first very physical ritual instead of just doing it mentally like I normally used to do. And it was fantastic. It was very immature-ish. I mean, if I told you what I used for the cakes, you're gonna laugh hysterically. But I haven't done it since. What I used was Oreos. Now the reason for that is because it was literally a last second spontaneous I'm just gonna do it type rituals. Other than that, I make my cakes if I can, if I have the time and the money. I will make it out of scratch, either do pumpkin loaf, pumpkin bread, or do something of the sort. But basically I will make it, put my energy into it, and then I will give that as an offering. So no, I have not used Oreos since. Now mind you, using the Oreos did not take away from the special aspect of the ritual. It was very energetic, it was very peaceful, and it was actually pretty great for my first time, even though I used Oreos. Oh, fucking Oreos. But anyway, since then, I'm not typically, into doing spells. Maybe over time I will get more into them, but it's just due to the fact that I don't want to treat the universe like Santa Claus. That is another thing that I used to do. I used to treat God and Goddess like Santa Claus. Basically going around asking them for every single little fucking thing that I could possibly think of that was not materialistic. And yeah, I've gotten out of that. I forced myself out of that. It's like, I sat there one day and it's like, what the fuck am I doing? It's like, they're not Santa Claus. It's like, they are to be loved and respected and honored. And what the hell? You know, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? You're not Santa. So yeah, I pushed myself out of that phase. So anyway. As of last year, I've gotten back into Draconic Wicca. And my next video is going to be on labels. Basically, my thoughts on labels and my labels. Not general sense, but but I have gotten back into the path of the dragon, and since then I have met several very loving, wise, powerful dragons. And if some of you knew about my experiences, if you knew what I am basically capable of, you know, I don't want to be called a liar, or I am a whack job, or that I'm crazy, so therefore I keep it to myself. That is another reason for why being silent is a code of the witch's pyramid, because you don't want people going around not believing what you're doing, and yet you know damn well what you are capable of. But if they don't believe you and they're throwing negativity at you, basically calling you a lying bitch or a lying asshole, that's going to take away from that, and it's going to make you start to doubt yourself. And then your power, your capabilities will get bottled up, and either they will become stagnant to where they won't grow, or they will slowly begin to die because you are not nurturing it. It's kind of like kindling a flame. You have to take care of it and make sure that grows. Obviously keep it contained so then it's not a raging inferno, but you have to take care of it in order for it to continue to thrive within you. So that is one of the reasons for why I don't really tell people that I don't trust or that I don't really know about my experiences. I have told a few, and a few chosen people, only because I know that they won't open their mouths and spread it around, and I know that they would, and that they do, believe me. As for the Path of Dragon, I'm still studying, I'm still learning. As I said before, what I learn is primarily on my own experiences, considering that I still need in order to try and find reliable sources when it comes to this path. And yes, when I get enough information, when I get enough rituals and spells together, then I will do a Dragon Magick series. Either it'll be Dragon Magick, Draconic, Path of Dragon, whatever. It will have some sort of dragon in the name. So then that way you know what it is that I'm talking about. Now, what I have done, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to cover this up, because this is not my personal work, and I don't want to get criticized for it, but what I have done is this. I don't know if you can see that. This is a book that I have not used, and down at the bottom, it says Path of Dragon. So, everything that I learn from this path is going into this book, and the reason for why I am doing the burnt pages and the edges is because I want to be proud of my work. I cannot write straight for the life of me, and I want it. You know, I'm sick of going through my books and I'm seeing the little scribbles or the whiteout and writing over it. It looks like crap. And I am not proud of it. So I want to make sure that I am proud of my work. And the image that I use that I covered up, it is for my personal use. It is not going to be published. It's not going to be publicized in any way, shape, or form. So I just don't want to get backlash for that. You know, it is very unique, it is very beautiful, so therefore I chose not to use it. I don't know if the person actually watches my videos, but I have liked their Facebook page, so therefore I don't want to get backlash for that. Any other images that I put into the book, I will share with you, but that one, as I said, I just don't want to get backlash for it. So, as for that, I'm basically going to finish this out really quick. because I don't know how much time I have left on the camcorder. But my spirituality has grown immensely. A few months back, I was doubting my own abilities, my own power, and I have grown. I have learned to trust myself. I have learned to know to trust my guides, my guardians. I am now able to receive their names. I do not give out names without permission and without basically a very good cause as to why. So I don't give them out freely, because I want them to be able to trust me, and I don't want their names being used against them. Or if you use something's true name, you can basically use that ritual, and if you're a real asshole, you can actually target them. So, and plus, I don't want any individuals calling upon my guardians without my permission, and without their permission, especially theirs. I don't want them coming back to me pissed off because someone called on them that they didn't want to protect. So, so yes, I have grown. My doubt is very, very slim to none. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. And in a few months' time, I should be better than what I am now. That is my prediction, that is my goal, is to be more than what I am now. So, as for this video, because I know that's already long, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed your coffee, your tea, whatever it is that you drink. I hope you discuss, comment down below, like, share, subscribe if you enjoy my videos. As I said before, I am here for networking. I want to be able to discuss with other like-minded people. So I'm not here for popularity, I'm not here for publicity, I just want to network. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, okay. Love and blessings.